Hey everybody, happy Saturday night. Hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. Decided I'd come out, it's getting a little warm, sit by the fire and do this video. Tack för sist, välkommen tillbaka. Hvis du är norsk så förstår du vad jag säger, ikke sant? Welcome back to the Norwegians, welcome back to everybody. Man, I'm having so much fun doing this. Whew. I may have to move a little bit here because it's getting a little toasty. So, yeah, thank you so much for all the likes, the comments, the subscriptions. It's kind of taken off faster than I thought it would. And I don't know what normal is, and I'm not normal. But I will tell you one thing. Holy crap. What you see is what I am. I don't put on airs on here. I rarely have any script. I just talk from the heart, from the cuff, from the sleeve, whatever you want to say. Heart on my sleeve. Oh crap. All right, we'll move closer to the fire as it calms down because that's pretty hot. So, you know, I've done several of these kind of, I don't know, ET, UFO, extraterrestrial, paranormal, whatever you want to call it, supernatural kind of videos. By the way, it is Saturday night, so skål. Skål is cheers in Norwegian. Also in Danish or Swedish, maybe both. But it seems like there's I don't know, those kinds of stories seem to resonate with people. So, I had actually forgotten about this one. So I was going to tell my rabbit story tonight, and I keep putting it off because, you know, I mentioned the water and the Mormon mission thing, and so several people said, hey, we want to hear that. So I did that, and then I was going to do it tonight, and my wife was like, do you remember when we went to our friend's property up in the mountains here in Utah? And what happened? I had completely forgotten about it. This was probably, 12, 13, probably not that long. It was probably like 2016-ish, so 10-ish years ago. And our friends built a property, cabin up in the mountains, up kind of around Schofield Reservoir, if you're familiar with Utah. Schofield's probably, I don't know, an hour and a half from here, maybe an hour. I don't know. It's not too far, and they built it right on the water there. But the house itself was finished, but they didn't have any patio on it, and it was winter. It was cold, so it was probably like January, and we went out. They invited us to come up for the weekend, which meant mainly just sitting inside and drinking and telling stories and laughing and playing games. I think we tried to ice fish a little. I don't know how successful we were, but yeah, we had a good time up there. Anyway, one of my friends smokes, and she wanted to go out and grab a cigarette, and so we always went out and hung out with her. And once you get a little of the liquid courage in you, you know, you're kind of warm on the inside, if you know what I mean. And so my wife doesn't deal with cold very well, but that's back when she drank. She quit drinking probably about 10 years ago. Good for her. I'm mainly a weekend drinker, but I like my beer, and I probably won't give it up. I have cut way back, but I watched a guy on TikTok today, young guy, probably in his mid to late 20s, and he sings along to country songs, and he's always got a beer in his hand, and he's fun to watch. I enjoy him. You know, he actually sings the songs while the song's playing, but he's always got a beer. And today I saw his video, and he said he quit drinking because I guess he was just drinking all the time. And you know, I've got family members that are alcoholics, and it's rough. I know that's on another subject, but so it's something I've always kept in mind my whole life. I'm like, I gotta have control over that, not it have control over me. So to each his own. Everything in moderation is my motto. Anyway, it's winter, probably January of 2015 or 16, I'm guessing, because their house was fairly new up there. And we went outside. It was probably, we always stayed up late, and it was probably 1 in the morning, I'm guessing. So up in the mountains there, if you're familiar with, well, any mountains, you go up in the mountains and you don't have all that light pollution, and you can really see the stars. It's amazing. I love it. Sometimes when I'm driving cross country, if I'm driving at night, if I'm out in the middle of nowhere, that just reminds me of another story. I'll have to tell the peeing story. If anybody wants to remind me of that, the peeing story. Oh man. But yeah, I'll pull over just to look at the stars, because it's not the same. We don't live in a big city, but when I'm in my backyard, I'll sit in my hot tub at night and I'll watch the stars, and I can see satellites. I thought I had something on my arm. I could see satellites going across the sky, and it's pretty cool. But it depends on the night. You can't always see them. Okay, I can move a little closer now. That just got a little too warm, a little too fast. So we're outside. Beautiful clear night. I mean, the stars were just like diamonds in the sky. It was Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Yeah, it was gorgeous. But so we were kind of facing, let's see, their house probably faces north. So off to the east, we started seeing these lights. And if you've ever driven, like outside Amarillo is the perfect, Amarillo, Texas. I drive there a lot. There's a spot where there's all these towers. And when you're driving at night, you see all the lights in unison. They'll blink on and off, and it's kind of cool from a distance. It's got this really kind of cool vibe to it. And we look over there, we're like, what are those lights? And I don't remember which one of us said it, but I think I said, it looks like it might be, tower lights. And she said, I don't think there are any towers over there. I said, well, there's probably a mountain right there, because we couldn't see that. It was very dark, no moon. So the stars were bright, but there wasn't a lot of light. And we sat and looked at them for a while, and they kind of moved like tower lights wouldn't move. And let me just break this off real quick here. So yeah, we're all looking at them, and we're all pretty buzzed. We've been drinking all night. We're like, they're probably sitting still, and our eyes are doing something weird, because they would move. I kind of remember it being kind of back and forth, but in unison, and a whole bunch of them. Like when you drive into Amarillo going from the west to the east on I-40, it's outside kind of by Vega, if you're familiar with the area. And there's, I don't know, hundreds of lights, and they all go in unison. And there were a lot of lights. I mean, it wasn't like it was one tower with 7 or 8 lights. It would have been a dozen towers with 7 or 8 or 10 lights each. Like it was probably 100+ lights. Put this over here because it's getting hot. And we sat there kind of discussing it. Like, she said, I don't think there's towers over there. And I said, well, there's got to be a mountain right there. And, the towers come up from the mountain, and because they were quite high up in the sky. And they looked relatively close. Like if they were towers, they were probably only a mile or 2 away. We sat and talked about it for a little bit, and like, is that what it is? They're moving funny. And being a little, like I said, tipsy, you kind of start making stuff up, and we were having a good time about it. Well, the next morning we get up and we're having coffee, and we're like, hey, let's go outside and see if we can see those towers. So we walk out the front door, we look to the east. Not only are there no towers there, there's no hill. I mean, there's some low rolling stuff, but nothing that would have been as high as these lights were. So this was before Starlink, so it wasn't Starlink, and because I saw Starlink, that's another story too. I'll have to tell that one too. That was pretty cool, actually. And so we all just sat there looking at it, because her husband had gone to bed, so it was just my wife, her, and me. And we were telling him about it, and he's like, there's no towers over there. So we go outside. Sure enough, not only are there no towers, there's no mountain for the towers to be on. So we all got, I don't know, I wouldn't say scared, not scared, kind of like chills, like, well, what did we see last night? Because we all saw it. It wasn't just me. It wasn't just two of us. It was three of us. And, well, if you're in Europe, you go like, well, if you're in Germany, you can do three like this. You ever seen the movie Inglourious Bastards? That's how he gets caught. He says, give me 3 beers. And he's supposed to go like that. Anyway, yeah, it was 3 of us that saw it. And we didn't know what to make of it, except that it was UFOs. And I understand that when you say UFO, all that means is, you know, basically an unidentified object. But yeah, with the history that I've had, I mean, I told my UFO story from when I was 16, and I mean, that was close up. So it wasn't a light in the sky. It was across the street, basically, from me. If you haven't seen that video, it's, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 videos ago. I'm sure it has UFO in the title. So, I mean, all I can think is that it was some sort of flying objects. Maybe it was American military stuff testing. Maybe it was drones. I don't know. But it didn't make any sense to us, the way it was, the pattern, the way they were flashing. None of it really made any sense. So what do you think? Anybody had experiences like that? You know, by the way, when I do these videos and I talk, I always pretend that you all are right here, right behind the camera, and I'm just talking to you, and we're just friends hanging out, having a beer on a Saturday night, sitting by a fire, just having a good BS. So give me your best explanation. If you got similar stories, man, I love it when I hear your guys' experiences too, especially when I tell a story, like I've told some of those mission stories, and I've had a whole bunch of guys and gals that were on missions too that have told similar stories. It's weird because at least most of them are people that have left that church. I have had some people reach out and say, hey, I'm still part of the church, but I appreciate that you respect the church and don't slam on it, and I won't. I don't see any benefit in doing that. A lot of my neighbors are LDS, but anyway, back to the UFO. Let me know what you think. Excuse me. Thanks for watching. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and I hope y'all are having fun watching it. I try to just keep it casual and upbeat. I know I did tell the story that was kind of deeper last weekend, but like I say, I try to be me, and I try to, you know, I'm not hiding anything. This is me. I like putting my stories out there, unless it's something private that, you know, somebody has said, don't say this, don't tell this, or yeah, I really enjoy. And you know, when I tell these stories, things come back to me that I had forgotten. Like, I forgot about this story until my wife reminded me. She's like, you should tell that one. So there it is. I won't drag it out any longer. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful Saturday night. If you're watching this tonight, if you watch it tomorrow, whenever you watch it, I dig y'all. I really appreciate it. And I read all the comments, even the negative ones. Probably won't respond to the negative ones. Woo, I gotta put some wood on this fire, y'all. Have a fantastic day. Tack för denna gång. Men hoppas snacka igen snart. Tack för sist. Och, nej, jag sa det allerede. Thank you for coming back, everybody. I can't wait to go back to Norway this summer. I'm so excited. Have a fantastic day. Peace. Love.